Welcome back to the next Veggie Box unboxing video, and we're super excited to show you that we actually have a Veggie Box. This is the first week of Garrett Growers Veggie Box program. Each week you can get a crate like this of lovely vegetables from local farmers. Before we start, make sure that your surfaces are clean, hands are clean, hair's up. We're going to get started. Carla is going to tell us what is in our Veggie Box this week. Okay, first up we have an herb.
Oregano.
Thank you.
Green leaf lettuce.
That looks good. We know what this is from our last video.
Curly kale.
Curly kale. Now we do have items from many different farmers, so sometimes they are packed in a little bit different packaging. Let's set that aside. We have some
Onions or chives.
chives, yeah. Oh,
Oyster mushrooms.
those look good.
Fennel.
Fennel. One of your favorites coming up.
Kohlrabi.
What's in here? Ooh.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. And finally, dessert.
Strawberries.
Yeah, look at those. Nice. Strawberries are fairly easy to take care of. Hold off washing them until you're ready to use them. You can run them under some cold water and then lay them out on a dry paper towel to dry. You can have a little fan on them to help dry them off. These we've already washed, so and put them back in the bowl here. So we're going to take off the green part, and sometimes that's all that needs to happen, because you can see here the top of the strawberry, there's none of the green left, so that one's good. Sometimes if you can't get that off just by pulling, you can use your knife to get the last little bit out. You can just run your knife underneath there, pull that out, and your strawberry is ready to go. We can talk about kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is fairly easy to take care of. You can just chop these leaves off. They're technically edible. They're a little bit tough. You would have to cook them up pretty good. You can throw them in soups, which can help with that toughness. The inside of a kohlrabi is kind of like a potato, but you got to get through this outer shell. The bottom of it can sometimes be a little bit hard and tough, but this one feels good inside. Once you get the two ends cut off, we can start by grabbing a hold and kind of peeling off, kind of like the outside of a broccoli stem is kind of how it acts. And that makes sense because kohlrabi is a relative of broccoli. And after we're done peeling, it's going to look kind of like a potato. Carla, tell us how you like to eat kohlrabi.
I like to eat them just raw in like little fry-like shapes, but they're also good roasted or sauteed with oil.
Right, so if we chop into this, do you hear that nice crunch? This is a nice piece of hard, it does feel and look almost like a potato. There's none of the starchiness, but it has a sweet broccoli or cabbage kind of flavor. It's very yummy. Want to try one?
Sure.
There you go.
Thank you.
I hear the crunch.
Very good.
Good. Tomatoes are very easy to take care of. We did talk about those in an earlier video, but we do have just the stem area here to chop out. And once that's gone, you can take this tiny little tip here off, but it doesn't really need to be gone. And then it's ready to be used, sliced, diced, or wedged to use in your recipe. Mushrooms are fairly easy to take care of. They're rather sensitive and tender, so you want to not handle them much until you're ready to use them. You can sweep away any debris that you find with a little mushroom brush, or a clean toothbrush actually works for me. And once you've got them clean, they're very easy to rip apart, so you don't really need to chop them, but you can, of course, use a knife. Some mushrooms are a little tough here around the stem area, so you want to cut that part off. These are fairly tender, so we're going to leave those on and cook them up. We love mushrooms sauteed with a little bit of butter and garlic, or olive oil and garlic. and a tiny bit of salt at the end, but a lot of recipes out there call for lots of other herbs. Mushrooms are very diverse and work really well in a lot of dishes. We already talked about how to prepare and cook kale in another video, and lettuce, how to take care of that in another video, so we're going to set those aside. We have these chives, which we've talked about green garlic in a previous video, so you can treat these just the same. Trim off the roots, chop up the whole thing, and they're good to go. Fennel is a new one for me. I have never cooked with fennel, so I am going by what my friends have told me. But fennel is entirely edible. The stalks here on the fronds, they call it, the leaves, are sometimes tough. So you can use those in a soup or something where you're going to cook them longer and they'll soften up a little. These little leaves, they call them, can be used just like you would use dill or parsley, some fresh herb, you can throw it in. The fennel itself tastes a little bit like anise or licorice. It's got that kind of bitey flavor, so it's one of those love or hate things. But basically with fennel, you wash it up. You can chop both ends off of the bulb, and the bulb can be used. It'll look kind of like, pull these tough pieces off the outside. It looks kind of like an onion inside, so you can chop it just like you would an onion, chop it in two, and then make some slices. Or you can chop those in two again and make dices, and can use it in sautés and stir fries. It's good raw. You can use it in lots of different recipes. And here with our oregano, with fresh herbs, a lot of times the stems are too tough to eat, so you want to rip those leaves off to use them. If you're going to use a lot, you can just grab a hold and rip the whole thing at once, and then you can chippy chop them into little bite-sized pieces or tiny pieces. You can muddle it if it's mint or something, but with oregano, it's great in a lot of Italian dishes. It's really good in marinara sauces and that kind of thing, but it's very easy to take care of. You can just chop them and they're ready to go. We hope you've enjoyed our unboxing of the veggie box this week. You can always get a veggie box by ordering them online at garrettgrowers.com or calling the phone number that you can find there. Garrett Growers also offers an option to buy a la carte each week. So you can order early in the week, and on Thursdays you can have delivered to one of our drop-off points whatever veggies you want. You can order 2 tomatoes if you want, or an entire veggie box.